John, can you just step aside for a moment? Yeah, thanks. Morning, everybody. As you see, the Handbell Choir is about to play. We have 3 Easter titles, all very optimistic. Come, Ye Faithful, Raise the Strain, which is a hymn tune. For the Beauty of the Earth, which is a hymn tune. And That Easter Day with Joy Was Bright, which is a hymn tune. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to worship at Wilmot Church today. My name is Angela Robel. I'm chair of the worship committee here, still. So today, Reverend Russ is not with us to preach, so he asked members of the Baha'i faith community if they would like to lead a service, and happily they said yes. So I am here just to facilitate the service, and members of the Baha'i faith community will be leading us in their readings and music. As you can see, the choir loft is empty, so the members of the choir get to sit in the congregation and have a well-deserved break from music this week. I would ask, Debbie, are you here? Debbie is going to come and, oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Debbie McMillan is coming up to do the candle lighting. So we light 2 candles. We light the Christ candle as a reminder that the Spirit of Christ lives in each one of us, and we walk in the light of his path. We light the rainbow candle to affirm that everyone is welcome here, no matter your race, your religion, your color, your creed, your faith, your gender, or your non-gender. Everyone is welcome here. And we welcome everybody who's watching online as we are live streaming this service. I must say the sound people have their work cut out for them today. We also acknowledge that the land that we live, work, and play on is the unceded territory of the Wolastoqey people, and we aim to walk forward in faith with them. Are there any announcements from the congregation before we start? All right. If not, then what we are going to start with is the children's time. So I'll ask any children to come up to the front as they normally do. And Jessie is going to do a story called The Giggle Tribe. So Jessie will sit normally where, yeah, anybody come up.
I see a bunch of children coming, so we'll see. This story is called The Giggle Tribe. It was written by Wendy Spears. Sorry, it was written by Robert Andrew Spears and illustrated by Wendy Spears. Have you ever been in a tree fort before? Some of you? Never? Has anybody in here ever been in a tree fort? No. Oh, some adults. Awesome. This group of kids, they had a tree fort, and they would go there and have meetings and do things together. They're called the Giggle Tribe. I guess that's maybe what others called them, or maybe they called themselves that. Let's see how this story goes. The Giggle Tribe meets in their clubhouse. It's Zach's turn to be the leader. He brought oatmeal cookies and orange juice for everyone. He said, "Mom told me Mayor Ebony is coming to our neighborhood. Mayor Ebony is planning her visit to see the gardens of Greenbrier." I guess they lived in a town called Greenbrier. She is looking to find the garden of the year. The families of Greenbrier are working hard to make their gardens look good for Mayor Ebony. Some families in Greenbrier use their favorite colors to design their gardens. They carefully plant just the right colors to make the garden special. And Arlo and Emma are helping their parents water their orange, red, and yellow flowers. The night before Mayor Ebony was to arrive, the city had a horrible thunderstorm. The storm damaged many houses and gardens in Greenbrier. The day after the storm, the Giggle tribe met in the clubhouse. They were sad because so many gardens were destroyed. Just a second. I was worried about this. The pages like to stick together. Autumn joined them there. Everyone was happy that she brought juice and carrots. She said, "Giggle Tribe, today we need to talk about how we can help the garden problem." Mia said, "I don't think Mayor Ebony is coming. Too many gardens were wiped out by the storm." Emma said, "What if the families share one big garden? Then the mayor can see how we all work together." Autumn said, "Giggle Tribe, let's vote. If you agree with Emma's idea, put your thumb up. Put your thumbs up." Everyone put their thumbs up. Autumn said, "Okay, Giggle Tribe, looks like we'll all agree with Emma's idea. We need to tell our parents about the shared garden." Arlo said, "We can put the shared garden in front of the library." The Giggle Tribe voted again, and everyone agreed with Arlo. The parents liked the idea of the shared garden and spoke with the librarian. She approved the idea, so all of the families brought their flowers to the library and carefully planted them. When the shared garden was finished, the librarian invited Mayor Ebony. All of the families met at the library and welcomed Mayor Ebony. Mayor Ebony said, "The shared garden has many beautiful colors, just like the people of Greenbrier. I officially pick the shared garden of Greenbrier Garden of the Year. I would also like to present this certificate to the Giggle Tribe for their idea of the shared garden. The Giggle Tribe is proud of their certificate, and it hangs on the back wall of their clubhouse." Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you for that. Now you may all go to Godly Play. What a nice story. And I'll invite who's over doing the opening prayer.
O God, my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor, and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps by the light of knowledge, and cheer their hearts by thy love. Verily, thou art their helper and their Lord.
Be generous in prosperity and thankful in adversity. Be worthy of the trust of thy neighbor, and look upon him with a bright and friendly face. Be a treasurer to the poor, an admonisher to the rich, an answerer to the cry of the needy, a preserver of the sanctity of thy pledge. Be fair in thy judgment and guarded in thy speech. Be unjust to no man, and show all meekness to all men. Be as a lamp unto them that walk in darkness, a joy to the sorrowful, a sea for the thirsty, a haven for the distressed, an upholder and defender of the victim of oppression. Let integrity and uprightness distinguish all thine acts. Be a home for the stranger, a balm to the suffering, a tower of strength for the fugitive. Be eyes to the blind and a guiding light unto the feet of the erring. Be an ornament to the countenance of truth, a crown to the brow of fidelity, a pillar of the temple of righteousness, a breath of life to the body of mankind, an ensign of the hosts of justice, a luminary above the horizon of virtue, a dew to the soil of the human heart, an ark on the ocean of knowledge, a sun in the heaven of bounty, a gem on the diadem of wisdom, a shining light in the firmament of thy generation, a fruit upon the tree of humility. Baha'u'llah.
My God, my adored one, my King, my desire, what tongue can voice my thanks, voice my thanks to thee. My God, my adored one, my King, my desire, what tongue can voice my thanks, voice my thanks to thee, my God, my adored one, my King, my desire, what tongue can voice my thanks, voice my thanks to thee? What tongue can voice my thanks, voice my thanks to thee?
Thank you, Jasmine. I'm now going to invite Deborah van den Hoonaard to do her presentation.
Good morning, everybody. It's lovely to see so many people. I'm certainly pleased to be here, and you'll notice some new people sitting around who are members of the Baha'i community who are also here with us who are reading today. We really appreciate and are grateful for your hospitality and the invitation to share with you who we are. This is interesting for me because in the Baha'i faith, we have no clergy, we have no congregation, we have no services, and we have no sermons. So, see how it goes. We'll be staying around for any questions you might have during coffee and conversation as well. I'm going to start with a very brief introduction to the Baha'i faith and the local Baha'i community. The Baha'i faith is an independent world religion that was founded in the 19th century in Persia. Baha'is represent every ethnic, racial, and national group. The Baha'i faith has no clergy, and individuals study the numerous writings individually and groups. There are no sects or denominations. The worldwide Baha'i community is united in working together. Throughout history, God has sent to humanity a series of divine educators, known as manifestations of God, whose teachings have provided the basis for the advancement of civilization. These manifestations include Abraham, Krishna, Zoroaster, Moses, Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad. These messengers reiterate essential spiritual teachings, such as prayer and love, and bring new social teachings based on contemporary needs of humanity. Baha'u'llah, the latest of these messengers, explained that the religions of the world are in essence successive chapters of one religion from God. In thousands upon thousands of locations around the world, the teachings of the Baha'i faith inspire individuals and communities as they work to improve their own lives and to contribute to the advancement of civilization. Baha'i beliefs address such essential themes as the oneness of God and religion, the oneness of humanity, and freedom from prejudice, the inherent nobility of the human being, the progressive revelation of religious truth, the development of spiritual qualities, the integration of worship and service, the equality of the sexes, the harmony between religion and science, the centrality of justice to all human endeavors, the importance of education, and the dynamics of the relationships that are to bind together individuals, communities, and institutions as humanity advances towards its collective maturity. Baha'is believe the crucial need facing humanity today is to find a unifying vision of the future of society and of the nature and purpose of life. Such a vision unfolds in the writings of Baha'u'llah. For example, O you children of men, the fundamental purpose animating the faith of God and his religion is to safeguard the interests and promote the unity of the human race, and to foster the spirit of love and fellowship amongst men. Baha'is hail from all walks of life, young and old, men and women alike. We live alongside others in every land and belong to every nation. In fact, you'd have trouble finding a place on earth where there were not Baha'is. We share a common goal of serving humanity and refining our inner lives in accordance with the teachings of Baha'u'llah. Our community is one of learning and action, free from any sense of superiority or claim to exclusive understanding of the truth. Our community strives to cultivate hope for the future of humanity, to foster purposeful effort, and to celebrate the endeavors of all those in the world who work to promote unity and alleviate human suffering. There are about 100 Baha'is living in the Fredericton area. The community is involved in the worldwide plan to release the societal changing potential of the Baha'i teachings through reaching out to the whole community. There are core activities that we are focused on: children's classes, devotional meetings, study circles, and the Junior Youth Empowerment Program. They are all open to everyone. Children's classes offered at the neighborhood level focus on spiritual and moral education. Baha'is host devotional meetings in which Baha'is and others unite together in prayer, often in one another's homes. They serve to awaken spiritual susceptibilities within the participants, and together with the acts of service, they infuse community life with the spirit of devotion, focused on the attainment of spiritual and material prosperity. There is no particular format to these meetings. One such meeting in Fredericton, entitled Soul Mending, welcomes women from a variety of backgrounds and ages who meet monthly to share writings, poetry, quotations, and music on a theme, for example, world peace. A study circle is a small group that meets regularly, usually in the home of one of its members, to study course materials developed at the Ruhi Institute in Columbia. Anyone, whether Baha'i or not, is welcome to take part. All participants are active agents of their own learning, and tutors strive to create an atmosphere that encourages individuals to assume ownership for the educational process in which they are engaged. Among the questions they explore are how to create environments that put people in contact with the spiritual forces released through prayer and devotion, how to strengthen the bonds of friendships and establish meaningful patterns of communication among people of various backgrounds. According to the Baha'i teachings, an individual reaches the age of spiritual maturity at 15. The years immediately before this age have special significance. This is the time when fundamental concepts about individual and collective life develop in the mind of an adolescent struggling to leave behind the habits of childhood. Youth between the ages of 12 and 15 have much to say, and whoever treats them as children misses the opportunity to help them form a proper identity. And you know, often in our school systems, this age group is seen as a troubling age group that you really have to control. We really see it in a different way. The program focuses on concepts, skills, qualities, and attitudes that contribute to the spiritual empowerment of junior youth. We scheduled the service to be close to our upcoming Holy Day, and in a way, our Holy Day, the Festival of Rizwan, is kind of comparable to Easter, which is so close, because both of them really establish the start of a religion. Baha'i communities worldwide celebrate their most sacred festival, Rizwan, from the end of April to the beginning of May each year. This event commemorates the 12 days that Baha'u'llah spent on the banks of the Tigris River in Baghdad in 1863, during which he declared his message as God's messenger for a new age, and revealed the spiritual principles that are the foundations of his teachings. Baha'u'llah had been exiled from Persia to Baghdad in a futile attempt to eliminate his influence. However, the Shah's regime, fearing the resurgence of the new religion's popularity, successfully urged the Ottoman authorities to exile Baha'u'llah even farther away. When news of Baha'u'llah's second exile reached the community, it caused immense sadness and chaos. The numerous visitors made it impossible to prepare for the journey, so Baha'u'llah moved into a tent set up in a garden across the river to allow his family to pack. Each day in the garden, before the sun had dawned, the gardeners picked the roses which lined the 4 avenues and piled them up in the center of the floor inside Baha'u'llah's tent. So great was that heap that his companions, gathering to drink their morning tea in his presence, were unable to see each other across it. Baha'u'llah entrusted these roses to the friends he sent out each meeting to be delivered to his Arab and Persian friends in the city. Rizwan commemorates the declaration of Baha'u'llah as a manifestation of God. On the first day, Baha'u'llah shared 3 significant teachings. He condemned religious wars, declared that there would not be another manifestation of God for 1,000 years, and affirmed that all the names of God were fully manifested in all things. The day holds special significance in the Baha'i faith as a reminder of its founding principles and teachings. The 12th day of Rizwan commemorates don't skip the 9th day. On the 9th day, Baha'u'llah's family crossed the river and joined him in the garden. Reunion of Baha'u'llah's family is symbolic of unity and love, and it inspires the Baha'i community to celebrate the Rizwan festival with joy. The 12th day of Rizwan commemorates the exile of Baha'u'llah, his family, and several followers to Constantinople. Although this exile led to much hardship, it also led to the growth and spread of Baha'u'llah's teachings. Baha'is celebrate this day as the start of their faith and as a symbol of renewal, peace, and Baha'u'llah's vision of unity and progress for all people. The name Rizwan, in case you were wondering, means paradise. And during the 12 days, Baha'i communities come together to celebrate this joyous occasion and to participate in the elections of their governing councils. National conventions are held in some 180 countries and territories during this period. Baha'i elections are unique in that there are no nominations and no campaigning. Baha'i simply vote for the 9 people that they think are the most qualified to serve on these bodies. On May 2nd, the Baha'i community of Fredericton will have a large celebration for the 12th day of Rizwan. And I have some posters in case anyone wants to see, and you're certainly all invited to attend. Just 2 years before his death, Baha'u'llah received one of the few Westerners to meet him, and the only one to leave a written account. The visitors was Edward Granville Brown, an Orientalist from Cambridge University. Of his meeting with Baha'u'llah, Brown wrote, "Though I dimly suspected whither I was going and whom I was to behold, a second or two elapsed ere, with the throb of wonder and awe, I became definitely conscious that the room was not untenanted. In the corner where the divan met the wall sat a wondrous and venerable figure. The face of whom on whom I gazed I can never forget, though I cannot describe it. Those piercing eyes seemed to read one's very soul. Power and authority sat on that ample brow. No need to ask in whose presence I stood as I bowed myself before one who is the object of devotion and love, which kings might envy and emperors sigh for in vain. A mild, dignified voice made me be seated, and then continued, Praise be to God that thou hast attained. Thou hast come to see a prisoner and an exile. We desire but the good of the world and the happiness of the nations. Yet they deem us as a stir up of strife and sedition, worthy of bondage and banishment. That all nations should become one in faith, and all men as brothers. That the bonds of affection and unity between the sons of men should be strengthened. That diversity of religion should cease, and differences of race be annulled. What harm is there in this? Yet so it shall be. These fruitless strifes, these ruinous wars shall pass away, and the most great peace shall come.
Thank you, Deborah, for that very informative and interesting presentation. I now welcome Jasmine back up to do her song, I Am Weak.
This is a participatory song if you want to participate. Oh Lord, I am weak, strengthen me with thy power and potency. My tongue falters, suffer me to utter thy commemoration and praise. I am lowly, honor me through admitting me into thy kingdom. O Lord, I am weak, strengthen me with thy power and potency. My tongue falters, suffer me to utter thy commemoration and praise. I am lowly, honor me through admitting me into thy kingdom, me into thy kingdom. O Lord, I am weak, strengthen me Through thy power and potency, my tongue falters. Suffer me to utter thy commemoration and praise. I am lowly. Honor me through admitting me into the kingdom. Me into the kingdom. Me into the kingdom.
Thank you, Jasmine. And I'll just ask for the offering to come up. We thank everybody for their offering of time, talent, and money. Thank you. And then the next person will come up and do the prayer for humanity.
This prayer for humanity was written by Abdu'l-Baha, the son of Baha'u'llah. O thou kind Lord, thou hast created all humanity from the same stock. Thou hast decreed that all shall belong to the same household. In thy holy presence they are all thy servants, and all mankind are sheltered beneath thy tabernacle. All have gathered together at thy table of bounty. All are illumined through the light of thy providence. O God, thou art kind to all. Thou hast provided for all, dost shelter all, conferrest life upon all. Thou hast endowed each and all with talents and faculties, and all are submerged in the ocean of thy mercy. O thou kind Lord, unite all. Let the religions agree and make the nations one, so that they may see each other as one family and the whole earth as one home. May they all live together in perfect harmony. O God, raise aloft the banner of the oneness of mankind. O God, establish the most great peace. Cement thou, O God, the hearts together. O thou kind Father God, gladden our hearts through the fragrance of thy love. Brighten our eyes through the light of thy guidance. Delight our ears with the melody of thy word, and shelter us all in the stronghold of thy providence. Thou art the mighty and powerful, thou art the forgiving, and thou art the one who overlooketh the shortcomings of all mankind.
O Son of Spirit, my first counsel is this: possess a pure, kindly, and radiant heart, that thine may be a sovereignty ancient, imperishable, and everlasting. O Son of Spirit, the best beloved of all things in my sight is justice. Turn not away therefrom, if thou desirest me, and neglect it not, that I may confide unto thee. By its aid thou shalt see with thine own eyes, and not through the eyes of others, and shall know of thine own knowledge, and not through the knowledge of thy neighbor. Ponder this in thy heart, how it behooveth thee to be. Verily, justice is my gift to thee, and a sign of my loving kindness. See it then before thine eyes. Baha'u'llah.
Blessed is the spot, and the house, and the place, and the city, and the heart, and the mountain, and the refuge, and the cave, and the valley, and the land, and the sea, and the island, and the meadow, where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified. Oh, blessed is the spot, and the house, and the place, and the city, and the heart, and the mountain, and the refuge, and the cave, and the valley, and the land, and the sea, and the island, and the meadow, where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified.
Thank you for the words of your readings. There are many words of wisdom in those readings and those prayers. And thank you for your gift of music, Jasmine. So thank you again for coming, and thank you for your leadership in this service. And as we go out, as you leave this place, go with love in your heart, go with joy in your smile, and go with hope in your soul, because the world needs all of those things right now. Go in peace. Amen. And Jasmine's going to do our postlude.